In this video, Francesca and I will be explaining about Venus and NASA's opinions and discoveries.
Venus is the second planet from the Sun and Earth's closest planetary neighbor. Even though Mercury is closer to the Sun, Venus is the hottest planet in our solar system. Its thick atmosphere is full of the greenhouse gas, carbon dioxide, and it has clouds of sulfuric acid.
Venus was the first planet to be explored by spacecraft. Venus might create a non-stop greenhouse effect that will create its current toxic atmosphere in the future. Now, however, a new paper in Science reveals modern-day volcanic activity on Venus, a discovery that may cause scientists to reconsider how rocky planets like Earth form, and even help us look for worlds surrounding other stars.
Venus has a dense atmosphere composed of 96.5% carbon dioxide, 3.5% nitrogen. Both exist as supercritical fluids at the planet's surface, and traces of other gases including sulfur dioxide.
Venus is the second planet from the Sun and the only object in the solar system other than Earth that has a subterranean atmosphere and is almost as massive and large as Earth. Venus looks like a very active planet. It has mountains and volcanoes. Venus is similar in size to Earth. Earth is just a little bit bigger.
The surface of Venus is effectively isothermal. It retains a constant temperature not only between the two hemispheres, but between the equator and the poles. Although Venus has no seasons as such, in 2019, astronomers identified a variation in sunlight absorption by the atmosphere, possibly caused by opaque, absorbing particles suspended in the upper clouds. The variation caused observed changes in the speed of Venus's zonal winds and appears to rise and fall in time with the Sun's 11-year.
Venus is unusual because it spins the opposite direction of Earth and most other planets. Its rotation is very slow. It takes about 243 Earth days to spin around just once. Because it's so close to the Sun, a year goes by very fast. It takes 225 Earth days for Venus to go all the way around the Sun. That means that a day on Venus is a little longer than a year on Venus.
The Venusian surface was a subject of speculation until some of its secrets were revealed by planetary science in the 20th century. Venera landers in 1975 and 1982 returned images of a surface covered in sediment and relatively angular rock. The surface was mapped in detail by Magellan in 1990 to 91. The group shows evidence of extensive volcanism, and the sulfur in the atmosphere may indicate that there may have been recent eruptions.
Since the day and year lengths are similar, one day on Venus is not like a day on Earth. Here, the sun rises and sets once each day. But on Venus, the sun rises every 117 Earth days. That means the sun rises 2 times during each year on Venus, even though it is still the same day on Venus. And because Venus rotates backwards, the sun rises in the west and sets in the east.
Venus, targeting launch in 2027, is tailored to peer through the planet's thick clouds and give scientists their first glimpse of the Venusian surface since the end of NASA's Magellan mission in 1994. The spacecraft's instruments will offer data about rock composition, geologic activity, and the planet's interior.
Venus is the second planet from the Sun and is Earth's closest neighbor in the solar system. Venus is the brightest object in the sky after the Sun and the Moon. and sometimes looks like a bright star in the morning or in the evening sky. The planet is a little smaller than the Earth and is similar to Earth's inside.
Like all the other planets, Venus was likely formed in the large cloud of gas, dust, and ice of the ancient solar system, which collapsed into a spinning disk. Our sun was born at its center, and the planets were created about 4.5 billion years ago from particles sticking together along rings in the disk. Venus itself formed 4.5 billion years ago, along with the sun, Earth, and the rest of our solar system. Like the young Earth, the young Venus was likely covered with magma or molten rock, but before water could fall as rain, the planet and its atmosphere would have had to cool.
The atmosphere of Venus is hot and thick. You will not survive a single visit on this planet. You wouldn't be able to breathe the air, possibly be crushed by an enormous weight of the atmosphere, and you will burn up and the surface temperature is high enough to melt lead. Venus is too dangerous. The surface is at 393 Celsius. It's even hotter than Mercury, which is the closest planet to the sun. Part of NASA's Discovery Program missions are to understand how Venus became an inferno-like world. It has many characteristics similar to ours, and it also may have been the first habitable world in the solar system, complete with an ocean and Earth-like climate.
That's all, folks.